Hi everyone. This is Professor Titan. I'm chewing on a bone. It's me chewing on a bone. We're gonna do a video. It's called VSO2. So, gonna let the human show you that video. I'm gonna sit here and chew this bone. Hopefully, I won't be annoying in any way. Okay. Thanks for the introduction, Professor Titan. Hello. Okay. VSO2. So in this video, we're going to go back over changing from standard form to vertex form, finding the axis of symmetry, and stating the vertex. Right. So if I'm completing the square to go from standard form to vertex form, the first thing I need to do is I need to add c to both sides, whatever that c term is, right? And then I'm going to rewrite x squared minus 2x squared equals 8 squared. Take the middle term, divide it by 2, and square that term, right? So that's going to give me 1. That's the term that goes in both squares. Okay. Okay. X squared minus 2x plus 1 is now going to equal 9, right? Factor the left-hand side, and we know that the factor will always be the number before we square it. So x minus 1 squared equals 9. Okay, now this is the point where you stop, right? We're not going to square root both sides because we're not trying to solve. We're trying to change to vertex form. So instead of square rooting both sides, I'm going to subtract by 9 on both sides. And what that's going to give me is exactly vertex form, exactly what I'm looking for. This is the vertex form of that quadratic function. They're the same exact function. If you put it into Desmos, they look exactly the same. Everything is the same about them. Same characteristics, same everything. It's just in a different form. Now, in this form, standard, we don't know. Hey, can you keep it down? Barely hear myself talking here. Thank you. In standard, standard form, I don't know what the vertex is. That's not the form that it's in. Vertex form, I know what this vertex is because that's the form that it's in. The form is the opposite of this, or the vertex is the opposite of this and exactly that. So the vertex of the function is 1 comma negative 9. Okay? Now you wouldn't have known that unless you did negative b over 2a for that function. And we'll get into that later. But that's the vertex form. Now, let's just label these real quick. Vertex form. Now the axis of symmetry. It's really simple. If you know the vertex, you know the axis of symmetry. It's always x equals and that number, 1. Not this number, that number, all right? Because the axis of symmetry, if the quadratic function, right, cuts straight down the middle, this is the line that cuts right down the middle, the vertex or the axis is a line, and it goes straight down the middle. That's why it's x equals, okay? So it's x equals 1. If you want to go ahead and pause me, try to, and see if you can find vertex form, vertex, and axis of symmetry of that. No, not you, them. Whatever. Okay, so hopefully you pause me and you're back. Let's go ahead for it because I did not do it ahead of time. I probably should have. Okay. I had to bribe him with the bone because he wouldn't come up here otherwise. Okay. Believe that? I have to bribe a dog with a bone. It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense. He should want to come up here because he should want to hang out with me. He didn't want to do that. So 70, right? X minus 6 squared equals 70. And I'm subtracting by 70 on both sides, so you should have x minus 6 squared minus 70. And that's the vertex form. And then the vertex is 6 comma negative 70. Now, just in case you didn't believe me, all right, let's go ahead and plot on Desmos real quick. I got my computer here. All right, let's go to Desmos. Obviously, this was not planned because I would have had it already. So, when you have a dog that needs a bone to go wherever you want him to go, you can't really just have things planned. Just kind of on a whim, right? Okay, so let's see here. So, x minus 6. Actually, let's do the first one. X squared minus 12x minus 30 equals 4. Okay. So I had to move the 4 over in order for Desmos to show it correctly. So if I move the 4 over here to make it true standard form, I would subtract 4 on both sides. So this would be x squared minus 12x minus 34 equals 0. So I don't know if you can see that from here. So let me see if I can give you a better angle for that. Okay. So you can see the function there, and it looks like a quadratic. So I'm going to pinpoint that vertex right there so you can see it. So if we're accurate, it should be 6 comma negative 70, and it is. Okay. So standard form to vertex form, vertex is taken care of. Now again, the axis of symmetry is the straight line that goes vertically down right through the center. So if I know the x value of the vertex, I know the axis of symmetry, and I do know the vertex. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 6. Not 6, x equals 6. Bye-bye. Say bye to Titan. Titan. Hey. Say bye. Bye-bye.